Alrighty, starting off a new day in the life. I am currently leaving my house. I'm gonna go grab coffee and I'm gonna go to my first meeting of the day. My first meeting is with my attorney, and I'll show you guys my to-do list for today because I use Fridays because my daughter's with my husband all day on Fridays. And so Fridays are like my day to get so much stuff done. So I have a lot to do on my to-do list today. I think all of it is like alder and stone stuff, but I think there's a couple of things that are like personal that I need to do today. So I'm gonna get coffee and then head to my attorney's office. So a little look at my to-do list for today. I got up and got dressed and already did all these things. I have a meeting with my attorney at 9 a.m. At 10 a.m. I'm recording a podcast for the Designers Hub with my co-founder. And then from 11 to 3, I have some free time. So I'm gonna plan on, I have to get a couple quotes for a new sofa, for reupholstering the sofa. I also want to talk to you guys about a client conflict that I have and kind of how I've navigated it. And then I want to reach out to a contractor that I found. And I'm probably going to end up doing a couple more things. So I left some blanks. And then from 3 to 6, I have therapy. I want to send out client mailers. And then I do need to file my quarterly taxes. So lots of fun. All right, the angle is a little bit off, but I was gonna start working on, because there's some client work that I need to do. I need to order some, get some quotes and order fabric and stuff like that. But for some reason, my internet does not want to work. So I guess I won't be doing that. So this is probably a good time to share my story of how, I don't even know, just trials and tribulations and hard times in business. I think sometimes when people want to start any business, but I'll only speak about interior design. When they want to start an interior design business, they get into it thinking it's going to be fun or just because they have a passion for interior design. And having an interior design business is so much harder and so much more complex and so much more responsibility than I think really people truly understand. You're working with clients, you're working with people, you're working with emotion, which is hard to navigate sometimes. And I just wanted to share something that happened to me that really is a catalyst for me I already do a vetting process for like who I will take on as a client, but just that I need to do better at my process of what type of projects do I take on and what type of clients do I want. So what happened was, and I'm not going to go like super in depth, and I want to just stick with the facts of like what actually happened with this client. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a really crazy story. So this client, we'll call this client Susie. So Susie reaches out to Alder and Stone via email, and she says that she needs help picking out furniture for her house. She just purchased a home and she needs to fully furnish her home. I say, okay, cool. Like, thank you for reaching out to Alder and Stone. These are the two like options we have for a furniture project. We either have a DIY package that has specific deliverables, or we have full service interior design done for you. You don't have to lift a finger. We do all of the ordering, we do all of the tracking, we do all of the installation, we take care of all the storage, we do everything. And she replied to that email and said that she wanted the DIY package. Okay? And I told her that the DIY package is just the design, a shopping list, and then it also includes in-person meetings. I think I included 4 meetings for her package. And I go and I measured her entire house, not an entire house, I measured the whole first floor. And so you get a furniture plan that's dimensioned, you get the furniture board, and then you get links to all of the furniture pieces. And I include like the specs, and it's like a very, if you do interior design, this is like known. It's like a standard of how you would do like a DIY package. So she agreed. We basically talked about how she wanted me to originally do her primary bedroom, 2 guest bedrooms, the living room, the entryway, the dining room, and then a little bit of the kitchen. So I quoted her $7,000 for those spaces. And she came back, she countered, and she was like, I don't really want to invest $7,000 right now. I would like to keep it around the $5,000 range. I said, okay, cool. Let's just focus on the living room, the entryway, the dining room, and a little bit of the kitchen. So it's really mainly 3 spaces and then a little bit of the kitchen. And so she was okay with that. She's okay. So we agreed on $5,000. We moved through the design process. I mapped out every single meeting and what is the agenda for each meeting. We worked on the design June, July, August, September. So 4 months, like 3 months, 4 months. And she was happy the entire time. And we were having like a lot of fun. I thought her design was coming along great. She wanted to mix a lot of design styles that are not conventional. And so it's kind of like, okay, this is cool. This is going to turn out cool. And so we made it all the way through the design, and she was happy the entire time. On the design presentation where I presented everything, I presented her full budget. I presented everything, her floor plan, everything. She put hearts on the design. Like, she literally drew hearts of what she liked, and she, of course, with any project, she had a couple things that she didn't like, so we had to reselect like a dining room table and a couple of other things, which is not uncommon. And so we were working on the reselections. Everything was going great. Literally, everything was going great. And she got the final design, and she paid her final portion of her design fee. Everything was great. And then Saturday morning, at this point, this is last Saturday, she emailed me and said that she wants a $3,000 refund. And her reasoning was the average price of interior design costs $75 an hour. And if you take $5,000 divided by $75 an hour, you get 66 hours. And there's no way that I could have possibly spent 66 hours on her project. And of course, as a business owner, anytime somebody's unhappy or like is demanding a refund, I'm not afraid to talk about that with you. So I emailed her back and I was like, Monday's a holiday, but if you're available, let's talk. Let's, pick up the phone and have a phone conversation, talk on the phone about it. Because at this point, I didn't know what happened. I didn't know the entire time we were doing the design. She was really happy. She paid all of her design fees. She signed the contract. Everything was going seemingly fine. And so Monday comes around and she sends me another email, and it's just like paragraphs of assumptions, really, of just about a bunch of assumptions. And so I was like, clearly there's a miscommunication. Like, clearly I don't know what's happening, and I don't know where she's getting this information from. And so I texted her and I said, hey, in 30 minutes, I'm going to give you a call. Can you be available? And she responded back to me that she refused to speak on the phone with me unless I refund her $3,000. And I just told her, like, I can't refund you $3,000 if I don't even know what for. I don't even know what for. We need to speak about it before a refund can ever be given. And she said no. She said nope, she's not talking on the phone, and that she will only speak to me if I refund her $3,000. And then she literally just keeps going about assumptions, just like random stuff that like don't even have anything to do with my business. I don't charge $75 an hour. I don't. I'm sure there's a designer out there who does charge $75 an hour. I did that. I charged $75 an hour like 3 or 4 years ago when I started my company. I just don't charge that anymore. There's not a single service that I offer that is $75 an hour. So, I just didn't know where she was getting that from. Long story short, she just continued to refuse to speak to me, threatened to sue me, but wouldn't tell me why. Like, wouldn't tell me, like, what is she talking about? Like, never once did she say she didn't like the design. She didn't say that I breached our contract. She didn't say anything, really. She just said that she wanted a $3,000 refund. And I told her that I'm not giving her a refund unless we talk on the phone about it. Like, we got to come to some sort of agreement about what happened and get curious about where the disconnect happened. Because everything was perfectly fine and going great until it wasn't. So I really didn't know what had happened. And yeah, she just basically said no, she's not going to talk on the phone. And the only thing I could do to make it better was to refund her $3,000. That is the only option that I had. I had zero other options. So, long story short, I did not refund her $3,000 because if you can't provide any like logical justification or explanation of why I owe you money or need to refund you money, like, you're just trying to rip me off. You're just trying to take advantage of me. You're trying to bully me into refunding you money that's not warranted for. And so we went back and forth over text, and normally I don't text clients. There's a reason why I don't text clients. And her last text to me was, you know what I want. And she's like, I'll be nice and drop it down to $2,500 instead of $3,000. I apologize for not reading my contract. I apologize for making it personal. And I apologize for, what else did she say? She said like she apologizes for that I couldn't read her mind. So she didn't read her contract. She didn't communicate to me that she was unhappy at any point. And that she just apologized. And so I didn't respond because at that point, like, it's very clear what she's trying to do. It's very clear that she received the design, she did like it and was happy the entire time, and then is trying to recoup design fees. And she told me it's not personal, it's financial. So she financially needs money back, which as a business owner is not valid. If I breach our contract and I do something outside of our contract, or I don't uphold our contract, then by all means let's talk about it. But yeah, and so I just left it at that. I didn't say thank you, I didn't say anything else, because at this point it's clear what you're doing. And so she decides to go on my Google My Business and leave me a review that is actually false. So she went on my Google My Business and just left lies, like slander, to try to ruin my reputation. And she even texted me and told me before she did that, something about reputation and how, like, insinuating that my reputation's on the line. And I still to this day do not know what happened, like where I broke our contract, where I fell short. I still have no clue what she's talking about. She never told me what was going on. And so she left me a review on Google saying that I don't have the software to do the job, which is not true, and that I'm fraudulent, and that I don't stand behind my word. I don't stand up behind my design, and that I never ordered her samples like I said I would. I did order her samples. She just flipped the script before we could get them to her. And the funny thing about the samples is ordering samples as an interior designer is like really, really easy. So like I wouldn't have to lie about ordering your samples because that's really easy. Like, it's not hard for me to order samples. And so she went to my Google My Business and actually just lied. Like, the whole thing. The only truth that could be in there is like her personal feelings. Like, I can't stop her from her personal feelings. But what is not her personal feelings is the actual like skill set. Like, saying that I don't have the skill set, saying that I lied about my experience, all this stuff. It's very crazy and just very hard to deal with as a business owner because I don't do interior design as a hobby. I have worked on $1 million homes. I have designed $1 million homes from the ground up. Like 2-year projects. And I do not say that to boast. I don't say that to toot my own horn. It's just a fact. It is a fact. So doing a DIY package, I could do that in my sleep. Very, very manageable for me. When you do the level of interior design that I do, it's very easy to do a DIY package. And she kept telling me that she ordered the Porsche and I delivered the Volkswagen. That was her reasoning for why she should like get a refund. And I asked her, like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Because in my opinion, the Porsche is full service interior design. And she ordered the DIY package. So she paid for DIY. And I'm sorry, DIY design, it's not comparable to full service. Anybody who does full service interior design for a living knows that it's two different things. And so, long story short, she's just like out for me. Like, she's just going on Yelp, going on Google. I'm sure she went on Yahoo, and is just completely, it's defamation. Defamation is when you are lying about the services or the quality of a business with the hopes of ruining their reputation. And it's crazy. And I share this because like, design and owning a business is not all that it's like cracked up to be. There are very hard conversations that you have to have. You're dealing with people who may or may not be like of sound mind. And there's no vetting for mental state. There's no vetting that you could do. In my opinion, you can have your clients take like a personality test, but that's like way too much work. And that it's hard. Like, it's hard when somebody's coming after your business and spreading rumor. Like, that's not even a rumor, just spreading false information about your business. And there's nothing you can do about it. I responded to her Google review, just literally calling out line item by line item, like, how this is not true. Like, you think that I can't design? I'm just sorry. Like, you think that I don't have the software? I use Revit with a Inkscape plugin. I can do renderings. I do all of my renderings in-house. And that's what I told her. I was like, if you actually researched my company, you would see that, you know, on my Instagram, I have tons of renderings. I do 3D renderings all the time. So it just doesn't make any sense at all. And of course, I'm like this very solution-based person. So I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Like, I'm just trying to figure out like what happened. And I suspect that something out of my control happened. Clearly, something out of my control happened. I don't know if she spoke with somebody who didn't value the design that I did, or I don't know. Maybe she went to Pottery Barn and Pottery Barn told her that she could have her design for free, and then she got mad at me about it. I have no clue. But I just share this to just share that, like, there's a lot that goes into interior design. There's a lot that goes into owning any business. And it's really not always fun and games. And it's really not always, I would say that owning an interior design business is a lot of not fun and not games. And then a lot of it is creative and fun and beautiful and technical and challenging and like all those good things. But I've been talking for about 18 minutes now, so that's my spiel, and I actually got to get to work. Okay, so in my office, and I'm kind of rushing because I am supposed to be recording a podcast episode with my co-founder for the Designers Hub in like 2 minutes. So I need to like set up my laptop. I have to set up my connect my AirPods to my laptop. I've only recorded a podcast once before, so I don't even know. And before, when I recorded a podcast, I had my headphones that just go straight into my computer. So I'm hoping the audio doesn't sound horrible with my AirPods. I don't really know. We'll just hope for the best on this one. But yeah, we're gonna record a podcast just talking about why we founded the Designers Hub and kind of our design backgrounds. Where do we want it to go? Where do we think that the platform could go? What plans do we have in the future? Where's the platform at right now? I think it'll be a pretty fun episode. And me and my co-founder, we get along. So it's always a good time. Always a good time. My computer's taking forever. I know, and I think that that's what's so important about the Designers Hub and why it's so close to me is just because I think that it's going to be so important for designers to have a place that they can go to, that they can hire professionals and know that the people on that platform are trustworthy, they're experienced, they work either only with interior designers or maybe they were previously an interior designer. So they're going to know your struggle, they're going to know the industry, they're going to know even knowing some of the jargon for interior design, I think is really important. So I think that that's why this platform, and there's nothing like it, is so important for the industry. So I'm just kind of holding my phone up here, but let me turn this down. I was planning on going back to my office and getting more stuff done and filing my taxes and blah, 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 blah. But after therapy, I'm just feeling very, I just need to take time to decompress. And I haven't seen my daughter all day, and it's 4 o'clock, and I'm gonna have to pick back up some of the stuff on my to-do list tomorrow or something. I don't know. I think that's one of the important parts of not being a business owner, but I guess a luxury that I can afford when you're a business owner is I can take time to decompress and process when I need to. So I'm gonna take the rest of the day just to spend with my family and forget all of my problems. And that's gonna be it for this video.